Okay, what we're working on today is a 2017 Lexus GX460. It's got about 130,000 miles on it and has been in some sort of accident. Body shop sent it here. It's got a code B1693 for the side airbag sensor initialization incomplete. And I've looked and it is plugged up. The body shop sent it here with the door panel off, and that we asked them to do that. And what I'm going to do right now is, because I've just checked codes and the ignition is on, I'm going to turn the ignition off, and I have to wait about a minute or two for everything to go to sleep, and then I'm going to check the tightness on that sensor. They told me that they put a new sensor in it. Let's see if they over tightened it. We're remounting it, making sure it's lined up properly. And we're tightening it to 80 inch-pounds. Now I have to turn the ignition back on. Ignition's on. And we are going to clear the codes. No codes detected. Let's read them again. Still there. So that did no good at all. It's a deeper problem. We're going to try clearing them a couple times, because sometimes that helps. I'm going to escape. I'm going to turn the ignition off. Turn the ignition back on. Oops. Turn the ignition back on. And check codes again. And we just have the one in history now, so it's not current. Let's go around and see if we crank it up if the airbag light goes out. And the airbag there is the one to the left. Come on, baby, go out. Did not go out. So that means we're probably going to go back and it's going to show current again. Let's recheck it and see if it goes from just history to history and current, and it does. Just want to go over the testing on this GX460 Lexus that I was working on with some airbag problems. That's the right front side impact sensor. And it's got, to me, it's a little bit of an unusual test because you have two wires going to it, and you would think they would come from the control module, but they don't. They first go to the rear right side impact sensor that's behind the panel and behind the back seat. You see that yellow connector right there is where it's at. Let's see if we can throw some light on that. There you go, you see that better. But the rear right hand impact sensor is above the wheel well on the passenger side rear, and the two wires from the front one come to this back one, and then the other two wires go back to the main control module that's under the center console. Well, I did some continuity testing here. It's kind of a tricky way you got to do it, but I did it and found out that I have no connection from this connector to the rear one, which is supposed to go through that before it gets back to the main airbag sensor assembly, which SRS module is what everybody calls it. So no continuity to it, and then I checked across the two terminals and I had continuity, and it should not have that. So I went around, looked to see if anything was scored up in the door, and I don't see anything. Started pulling the interior door panel and interior kick panel apart to get to the wiring, and what do I see? I see all sorts of rat damage. So I got to make a phone call and find out what all we're going to get to do with this. This thing tests a little bit unusual, and what I had to do is I had to disconnect that connector and the one on the other sensor, and then do an ohms test on the two wires going between this connector and the one on the right front door. And I had an open circuit on both of them. And behind the right kick panel I had another picture of it, and it was where a rat had gotten in there and chewed wiring, rat or mouse or something. And I got some of the crud out of there so you could really see it. You can see the yellow tape on this loom that's chewed up, which indicates airbag, and then it comes up here to this yellow one, and that's where the back wires are. And these come through and these come through and go up through the door, and then back around here to that sensor. But it's kind of weird, like I said, that it doesn't have a direct path back to the control module, which is under the center console way up there in the front where that big yellow connector's at.